Hey everybody, David here from Team Ultra Instinct bringing you an SS2 Sun Gohan Push to the Brink deck profile. It was requested. I figured I'd do it because I really do enjoy this deck. A little more unique than most decks out there. I mean, it is a skillless deck, but I like how it revolves around a lot of the skillless cards and how it plays. So we have done a deck profile on this guy before, so this is just an updated list on him. So here, when he attacks, you can add a mono blue card from your energy. Just any card that's mono blue. But the significant part here is if you do that, you choose one mono blue battle card from your hand and place it in your energy. So you can't swap out extra cards and stuff like that. You can take an extra card back, but you can't put it back down. Of course, you always want the battle cards in your energy anyway. You mostly just want your skills to go in your energy. And then any of your battle trick cards that can play your skills from the energy too. Which you really don't run too many of those, like 4 copies. The other cards typically are playing like from your hand. Really, you just want the skills in your energy. And then when you play a blue skillless card, if it was from your energy, you basically can awaken that way instead. So what you'll do is you'll draw 2 cards and go down to 6 life. And you flip over right to the backside. Or you can awaken when you're at 4 life. Just draw 2, flip over. On this side, very similar effect, except you now draw when you attack. Same energy swap stipulation, can only put down battle cards, not any extra cards. You can still pick up extra cards or anything like that. Just keep in mind, has to be mono blue. The activate battle is nice. It's not anything crazy, but the pump is a little bit nice. Basically, activate battle. Choose one of your blue skillless Saiyan cards with energy cost of 2 or less, and it gets 5k power for the battle. You don't really play it. You don't play any 1-drops at all. It's really only the 2-drop skillless cards. If someone has any spice on 1-drop skillless spam, though, with this deck, that'd be kind of interesting to see. Yeah, it's not restricted outside of that. That's interesting. If someone has a 1-drop list, I want to see that. Just see what people are cooking, because I know you can do some interesting things with that. But that's the leader. Really like this leader. I've been playing it since its inception, and keeps getting support, so I can't be mad. Z-Deck, I just want to point out, is a little bit... hit a card launch. Cut short. I only have 7 in the list right now. There actually are more. I'm working on the Z deck. 2 of the cards I just didn't put in. They're in a different deck right now. The Son Goku Stronger Together. I really just only run this to punish someone for getting really big hands. So if they have 11 or more cards in hand, you bring them back down to 10. So if they got like a 15 card hand, I'll just drop this card. It's the only reason I run it, just to punish people. For Self-Awakening, SSB Vegeta Surmounting the Impossible should be pretty self-explanatory. Sometimes you just need to go down to 4 life. I do run 4 life super combos in here, so sometimes you're stuck at 5, you got to go to 4. He comes a clutch. Vegito, this is still one of my favorite Z battle cards in the game. I really like this card. Yeah, it's a 5-drop, but it's a finisher on demand when you need it. I only run 1 in the Z deck. Nice that it's a triple striker barrier blocker, and he restands at the end of the turn, removes a card on board, and gets rid of a card from your opponent's hand. You choose the battle card on board, but they choose the card in their hand. So I just run him at 1. And then I do run 2 of the Cell. So I run 2 Cell Z battle cards just to clear up board. I honestly really haven't played it a whole lot, but I know there's going to be a scenario when I need it. So I run 2 right now. I mean, we got 10 cards in Z-Deck, so plenty of flexibility. At worst, I'd just cut 1 and keep 1 in there. But just nice board clear, crit pressure. Then I run Android 21 in the name of Hunger. I don't run any Zamasu in here to make her an indestructible blocker. Since I am an aggro list, I'm trying to go a little bit faster. And I do feel like that slows me down. But you could argue it. At worst, or at best, maybe you should run another copy of this just to get a quicker triple strikeout, slightly cheaper. I don't know. This one, I've been debating on what I should actually do with it. It's not quite great in this deck, but it's not bad either. It's kind of 50-50. It's a very cuttable card. Deborah, this is one of the new Z Unisons that came out. I run this in case we're facing a deck where they just Nimbus you or something like that. Now, instead of playing all the battle cards to try and swing at them, we have a Z Unison that's dual attacker. So you can swing twice with it, at least put on a little bit of pressure. At this point in the game, ideally, your opponent's at pretty low life. So I run 1 of this. Haven't played this yet, but pretty solid card. And then what else would I be running? I'd be running one of the Z extra card, the Mighty Blast, Black Kamehameha Mighty Blast. That I'd run, and then I'd run 2 of the BRZ battle card. BRZ battle card I've actually leveraged quite a bit. That one, at least because it's low to the ground, works out. Yes, it's a 4 energy commitment, but with your leader basically restanding energy. It's a nice triple attacker. Clear up the board. And then he could be, 15k, 20k, then 25k in the last swing. So I'd run those 2 Beerus's and a Mighty Blast as well, so that would make up your 10 card Z deck. Here we have the deck. I started out with a lot of the generic stuff, so at first I wasn't going to run the Majin Buu Unison. I decided that I wanted to run it in the list in case I'm just facing a matchup where I got to pressure a little bit more with the Unisons. This is the only Unison in the deck, so it is my one of. Helps with other matchups, of course. We know this card's broken, so I'm just running one. Of course I'm running one. Here, let me do it like this. Running my 4-dimension magics. So really pretty self-explanatory there. Super combos. This one we can talk on a little bit. I stuck to the 4-life super combo Vegeta. I don't really think I'd want to use the Z energy super combo at all. The Goku from the recent set. You don't really generate a lot of Z energy in this deck. You can generate Z energy, but you don't typically just dump into there and get it easily. It's easier to go down to 4 life with this deck and just stick with this super combo. The nice part about your super combos in here is if you accidentally charge it or you need to charge it, you can swap it out with your leader. So these are like actually not dead charge cards for once. Something you can charge if you really need to. So I stick with these, the 4 life ones. They've been doing their job. I really can't complain. I don't think I'd play any other super combo. Like you could play some other niche ones in there, some multicolor ones, but I think sticking with the 4 lifers are the best way to go. Playing 3 Pilaf Shumai, because your leader restands one sometimes, or you often do have 1 energy up at the end of your turn. Not super often, but you'll have it situationally, I guess, into certain decks. Some decks, you just, if they're the slower deck, then you're just going to Unga Bunga and just tap out pretty much every turn. But with this card here, I figured it's a nice draw one as well. It can be a turn 1 play if we really need it. Nice to deny your opponent in combo. Gives a little bit of extra defense. Everyone knows this card's good, so I run 3. Could side a 4th. I didn't really think about that. I don't side a 4th one, but you could do that. I run 3 Sensi Beans in the main, 1 in the side, or I would run 1 on the side. I don't know if I have it in there right now. I was tweaking the sideboard. This deck's a little bit harder to side with, so you'll kind of understand once you get to that point. But Sensi Bean, I run 3. This deck does have some activate battle tricks, so figured it's pretty good. I've done quite a bit with this card, and it's a nice little floodgate in quotes, and being a 20k base during your opponent's turn is really helpful. Definitely do like this card at 3. Could drop it down to 2 and just side the 3rd. I don't think the 4th is necessary, but it helps. Then, of course, we've got one of our aggro cards here in blue. SS Rose Goku Black. Yes, you need 3 or more Z energy to play it in this deck, so it can be difficult at times to play him. Sometimes he's just a combo card, sometimes he's just energy for you, or sometimes you are playing him. I have played him out quite a bit in this deck, so definitely not a dead card. I still like it at 3. It could maybe drop to 2. And just a note for everyone, this is a 53 card list. A little bit weird number, but I forced the Boo in there, so previously it was 52. But this is nice. I like it at 3. It's coming in handy quite a bit. I think with the new set, there will be some modifications to the deck with that new SR Broly coming out. That card's cracked. Going to be a huge support. But I do like this card being a little bit of a battle trick there, give you extra defense or extra pressure. For 1 energy being a double strike, pretty good card. Bottom decking a 4 or less mid-battle, also pretty nice. I do run 2 Sun Gohan Power Reclaimed. I've seen some people start falling off this card a little bit. I still really like it. I have often played it for the 3 energy in this deck. Pretty much D-Magic Negate, they go to attack again with the big body, Sensu Bean up, and then I'll play him for the 3. Or I'll simply just combo it, pay 1, bottom deck something. Just nice little board clear. One of my favorite cards still in the game, so that you often see me run this card at least as a 2 of in most mono blue decks. Or it'll be in there in some form, maybe minimum 1. But I pretty much almost always auto include. At worst, it's a sideboard card. I just really like the card, so anything with Gohan I try to fit in if it's a viable card. Just to stick with the aggression. Not every deck generates a lot of Z energy, so sometimes you'll face decks where they're really not getting much in there, which is weird because I have had plenty of games as of recent, and I don't know. It feels good. It feels bad. I've had scenarios where I also haven't been able to meet the auto here because my opponent doesn't have 3 or more energy. So typically it's just, all right, I'm slapping it down just to be a 30k double strike for 2 energy. So still a good card. I think I'd keep it at 2 though. 3's just seems like a little bit much for this deck, especially with Broly coming out. I think 2 is perfectly fine for it. And then one of the perks about being a Earthling / Saiyan leader, we can run body resistance. Nice self-awakener card, nice removal card, nice little defensive card at the same time. So what I like is you can play it at 2 energy. It is a nice 1 energy commitment to be a 20k swing. So another 20k beater in your deck. A lot of your attacks are going to be 20ks. But when he's played from your deck or hand, you add up to 1 life to your hand. Pretty much almost always take the life if I'm above 4. So like 5 or 6 life, I'll take the life. Comes in clutch. Then you choose one of your opponent's battle card, add it to its Z energy. So nice little removal, and it is another way to get him some Z energy. So it helps synergize with our 8-drop over there. And then at the end of the turn, you put him under your opponent's leader, and then their leader now has minus 5k as long as he's underneath, and then he spits back out the next turn. I think I forgot to play him back out one game, but that obviously it has to come out. That is part of the auto, that it has to happen. So just make sure you remember the card. Don't forget the card. And then he's just from then on going to be a 20k beater. Very good card. I still like it at 3 in the deck. I thought about bumping it to 4 because it's so useful, but I'm still not too sure on it. I like it at 3, but it could go to 4. All right, this is where things are pretty straightforward here. We are running the 4 Super Saiyan Son Gohan. Of course, my preference is to run Gohan as the skillless card. I run 4 of him, and then I run 3 of the Super Saiyan Trunks. So 7 skillless cards in total. You do need to see them. You either need them in your opening hand or you need to see the new promo. Very, very, very important to the deck and getting awakened early. I have had it before pre this promo coming out to where I didn't see any skillless cards. So I had to rely on the self-awakeners just to at least get me to see some different cards. So 7 feels like the most optimal amount for me. Maybe 8 for some people, 6 for others. But I really like it. Now, the energy fortification cards are a little bit better. I run the Tin Shinhan because it is a draw 1 on play. But when you charge it, you can pay a blue. And then as long as your leader is this leader or any blue Son Gohan childhood, I think this is the only one right now. When he's placing your energy from your hand, from your hand is the key word here, because you can charge from the top of your deck, so it won't trigger off that. You can play a blue skillless battle card with energy cost of 2 from your energy. Oh yeah, that's why we don't run any 1-cost lists. You can do it, you got to run different cards other than energy fortification. But when you play, or you can play a 2-cost from your energy, and then you replace that energy with the top of your deck in rest mode. So, like, you could charge another one of these off the top of your deck. Just remember, it doesn't trigger. It has to be from your hand. Only cost a blue. So, the nice thing you can do, just to give an idea there, you can have your skillless already in your energy. You charge him for turn. You pay the energy cost, not with the TN, but with the skillless card. That fulfills the cost requirement, so the auto now resolves. You play out the skillless, finish the skill, replace the energy. So you still have 1 energy up, and you now have a body on board. And you probably self-awakened, or you've just got another 20k beater on the board. Very good card now that we actually have a promo that makes everything so much more consistent. You can charge this from deck, and you can pick this up from deck to hand. Very useful card. We'll get there. This is still my favorite promo in the deck. the SS2 Sun Gohan and Trusted Will. So this one here we run 4 of. This card's like auto 4 in this deck. You pay 2, activate main from hand, so 1 blue and 1 of any color. If your leader card is Blue Sun Gohan Childhood, you may play 1 skillless battle card with energy cost of 2 from your energy, and if you do, play this card from your hand and add the top card of your deck to your energy. It does not say in rest mode, so now that card, this is pretty much a 1 energy commitment. You've got 2 bodies on board that are 20Ks. And then when you awaken, the nice part is if you ramp off the top of your deck another skillless card, when you awaken attack, you can end up putting this in your energy and still play out or pay the energy, play out the other skillless, and you still have 1 energy to work with. So sometimes you fall up in the noob, or sometimes you just keep the energy up. But this card's insane in my opinion, for the deck, it's insane. Very needed card. Then the activate main, in case you don't want your opponent to remove the skilllesses in any way, or you need to remove some cards on board. It's a limit 1, because there are times where you actually do have 2 of these on board. You return 1 skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 to your hand. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost greater than or equal to their current energy and place it at the bottom of the deck. I have done this to where I've gone first, and my opponent has a 1-drop on board, and I have swung, and then activated, return to skillless, and bottom decked the 1-drop on board. So this card can be kind of crazy. If you see it, I pretty much say if you see it in your opening hand, you have a skillless. Auto keep, no reason to mulligan. You don't need to look for this. But this card just is great for the deck. Absolutely love this card. Then we've got our 4 Son Goku assisting a Son. This is the new promo for the deck. Very helpful card. So helpful in 2 different ways here. The first auto is this is when he's played, so when you pay 1 for him, you draw a card, and then during this turn, the next time you activate an activate main skill on an SS2 Sun Gohan Astonishing Strike, which is the big guy for the deck, he's the 10-drop, you reduce the cost by 2 blue to activate it. So instead of it costing you 4, it costs you a total of 3 because you paid 1 for this, and then it's reduced by 2. So nice to get him out a little bit cheaper. You can play him on turn 3 now. Definitely really like this card to make that card more relevant. Then the second auto here, one of the most important reasons to have this in your deck, very, very huge help. If your leader is specifically the push to the brink Sun Gohan, if it's your turn and you place this card in active mode from your energy to the bottom of the owner's deck, so as soon as you charge it, that's the cost. That auto is being met. So when he's added to your energy, so that's the condition. And the reason it says in active mode, and what is nice is the charge off this Gohan, when it places the top card of your deck in your energy, it does place in active mode, which can trigger that. So it's like you basically hit a skillless. When he's added to your energy, add up to 1 blue skillless battle card from your deck to your energy, meaning in active mode. Won't come in rest mode, which is nice. Then you add up to 1 card with energy fortification and its card name from your deck to your hand. So it could be that Tien. It could be, I think it's Krillin is the other one. That's a searcher. I don't play the Krillin in my list. I prefer the Tien for a generic draw one. And then there is the Vegeta Energy Fortification, which is a negate. I've seen a couple people on that card in this deck, but not more than like a 1 or 2 of. I personally just think the Tien is enough, especially with this being a searcher for it now. You're pretty much always going to see it. And you only really need 1 Tien in your hand, really, at all times. Or not at all times, but at any point in the game, because you can pick it back up and just charge it anyway. But this card, huge help. It just helps correct so many things and make it much more consistent. Definitely love this card at 4. Wouldn't change it. Then we've got our 10-drop. I only run 3 of it. I don't think you need 4. 2 is the lowest I'd go on this card because it is a finisher for you. Your opponent does need to have 3 or more energy in order to play this card, and your leader does need to be a blue Saiyan. You choose 1 blue skillless battle card with energy cost of 2 to play it from your hand. And then the chosen card goes in your energy, but it goes in active mode, which is nice. So you'll choose your skillless, you'll play him out, and you didn't tap out to play him technically because it goes in active mode. He has a 30k deflect, 10 cost triple strike, so he gets around quite a lot. Then his other activate main is you can place 1 mono blue battle card from your energy in the drop, so any mono blue battle card, which is nice. Switch them to active mode, then you choose all your opponent's battle cards and bottom deck them in any order. Nice board removal, dual attack, triple striker, 30k. Slap a super combo or two behind it, and he's a really big threat. Definitely like that card at 3. So this card I have considered cutting out of the list or just sideboarding it. It's nice because it's a 1 energy 15k blocker. Its condition is activate main, pay a blue. If your leader card is mono blue and you have a skillless battle card with energy cost of 2 in play, you play it. So it just simply plays them out. When it's played, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and energy cost of 3 or less. Ignoring barrier, that's the main reason I run it. It's relevant to some decks, and you place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. So it gets around barrier pretty early in the game. Can deal with some low to the ground threats. The only problem with the current meta, I feel like, is there's a lot of cards that are just higher than 3 costs. So I have thought about cutting him, but he has come up, so I'm not too dissatisfied with him. I just don't know how I feel about him. Still a good card. Maybe I should sideboard it. I don't know. But he is a 4 cost at his base, so he gets around still quite a few counterplays. This card, I have questioned. I love the art. It's Gohan. I'm trying to run it in here, and it's made for the deck. So, I don't know. This is one that could change. Definitely not sure there. One of my favorite one-ofs in the deck is this Negate. It's built for this deck. So the permanent here says if your life is at 3 or less, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying the cost. The counter skill is if your leader card is blue Sun Gohan Childhood, you negate the attack, then choose up to 1 blue skillless battle card with an energy cost 2 in your hand and play it. So your guys that bounce the skillless back to hand, this is another way to just replay it out. It'll be in active mode. Or if you just happen to have another in hand, you can do that. Or you simply just don't play anything off it. I've had times where I haven't done that. So a nice negate. It does come on board. It's a 10k, but typically I'll just combo it, get it off the board, and be some Z energy for me. The only downside after that, the reason why I don't run more than 1, you can't activate copies of the counterattack skill on this card for the game. So it's a 1 and done. So I just like it as a 1-of. It's come in clutch. I really like it. Then our 1-of, because it's a skillless 2-cost deck, this Janemba Bewitching Blow is absolutely huge and very annoying if you see it on curve with your deck. You can only play it if you have 3 or more energy, and then you have to bounce a 2-cost back to your hand. 2-cost skillless card back to your hand, and then you play him out. Dual attack crit. Can't really ask for much more than a free guy like that. So comes out for free. Dual attack crit. Only 19k, so sometimes you do have to combo up to push the attack through. Or it's just 2 cards out of their hand for the cost of really no cards out of yours because you're just picking up a skillless card. Definitely really like this card in here. I mean, this card's still busted. I'm still glad that it's at 1, but if you see it while you're playing, I have had scenarios where I haven't had an opportune time to play it. There are times where this is not the right play, but still good as 1-of. Definitely wouldn't change that. And then our secret rare. There's a lot you can do with this secret rare in this deck. Everyone knows this card's broken. Very good secret rare. And it's Gohan, so I had to run it, right? As soon as this card was revealed, I had already been thinking about this deck. But we already know that it board wipes by bouncing stuff to your opponent's hand, and it can burn them alive. But the very important part for why I run this card, you can play it for 2, cool. But the activate main, activate battle, choose up to 2 of your cards, switch them to active mode. If you do switch, or if this card is switched to active mode by the skill, it gains critical. So often, what I will do is I'll have played some other stuff out, already swung with this Gohan, and then I'll play out this Gohan, swing with him, activate the skill if the attack goes through. If it doesn't, I'll still activate the skill on these 2, typically. You can restand your leader. Your leader is not an auto once per turn, so you can attack again, draw a card, do the same energy swap shenanigans there, so pick up a mono blue energy and then place down a mono blue battle card. So it's nice because now you've got 2 more attacks there. You've now turn extended because you're getting a card back in active mode in your energy, and you've drawn another card. So usually that's the play I do. Sometimes you're just restanding another big attacker with him. Really, you're never going to restand the energy unless for some reason they've locked your leader down. You're never just going to restand the energy. You're going to restand him, and then likely this, or you're going to restand him and something else. Never going to restand the energy. Just want to make that very clear. This secret rare is like perfect for the deck. I wouldn't change it to anything else, but you could run the SS3 blue secret rare. I think this is the most opportune one though. It's one of the best secret rares in the game. And the nice part is if you charge it, it is a blue battle card, so you can pick it back up, put something else down. And now your opponent knows you have it, and they're scared. That's the core of the deck, so that was everything there. 53 card deck. Sideboard's been a work in progress. I haven't been able to solidify it, but my entire sideboard's mono blue because I am afraid to charge anything that is not blue, because you cannot swap those out unless you're running the Zeno super combo or some other way to pop it or swap that out. And I don't really want to have a deck that's worrying about that, so I go straight mono blue, not have to worry about it at all. I don't run an overwhelm because I'm afraid of that happening because my luck is very bad and I'll end up somehow charging the overwhelm card from the top of the deck. So sideboard here, work in progress. I think I only have it like 11 cards and it needs to be reworked, but I would run the one baby Golden Avenger. This is just to be a counter and still be a threat. It's a battle card, so you can swap it out. I like it. Maybe the Goku Black could be better. But I don't know. I kind of like the 30k. I don't have a whole lot of 10k combos in my deck. It's really just the 10-drop Gohan and the Secret Rare. I have them at 1 in the sideboard. I think that's good. Because we're an aggro deck, and blue isn't really relevant right now, so I've been thinking about dropping this down, but I am running 4 of the Borgos here. Just some Dimension Magic hate. Not sure if I'd keep it at 4, but I don't know. Then I'm running SS2 Trunks Emotional Blow. I'm running 2 of those. Just a nice way to get around some barrier and indestructible. I'm just citing it just in case I come across that. And your Oob typically is going to be your trigger. You've got the 10 cost Gohan that works because it is a 30k battle card. Your Secret Rare. And I think that's pretty much it for the core of the deck. Your Z Battle Vegito if you have it, but that's typically not going to happen. But nice to have just in case. If I need to play a little bit more defensive, I'm running 2. Oh, I thought I was running 2 of these. There should be 2 Chilled's Army reinforcements on the side. I think I took it out for another deck. So I'd run 2 of the Chilled's Army in case we got to play a little defensive. There's that one extra Sensi Beans I was talking about. Just the 4th, but this could end up just being the 3rd one, and I just change up the main board a little bit. And then another counterplay, Absolute Release Ball. This is in case we're facing a deck with heavy floodgates. Just to at 4 life, play it essentially for free because it restands in energy, which is nice. It only bounces a 3 or less back to their hand. We'll never get the permanent because we don't have multicolors, but pay 1 for it, bounce the 3 costs back to their hand that they're playing, and then restand in energy. Only downside with it, only hits 3 or less, but that's good. Shouldn't do any more than that, but this will hit their Oceanus. It'll hit Robotic Riposte, I guess. Not really too worried about Robotic Riposte, but it is good for the matchup. Vegetos, Topos, Bupos, anything like that. So I run 2 just in case. Other cards I'd sideboard, really dependent on what the current meta looks like. If I need more negates, I'd consider like doing a Mafuba in the sideboard, just to deal with some of the cards that are huge threats and shouldn't sit on board. So like the Goku 8-drop in green, I'd run Mafuba just to out that. Can't really run Koitsukais in here because I'm afraid to ramp them. I would love to, but it's a detriment to the deck itself. So I wouldn't really do that. And that's really all I have off the top of my head. I mean, the sideboard's pretty flexible, so I'd look into it if I were you guys and just see what you can do with it. It's a little trickier for this deck because you just really can't run off color cards. My worry in a matchup currently is hand hate, because running Taboras is difficult to do. I'd also consider maybe sideboarding the, one card you could sideboard as well. The 4-drop baby from, oh boy, what set was that? It was for the aggro baby deck. It can bottom deck a 2 cost or less Unison, I believe, if you bottom deck a card, period, from the board, I believe. It just costs 1, and you get rid of it from the drop area. That's a card I'd sideboard. I actually didn't think about it before. I should side it in there, though, because the 5-drop Gohan really helps to meet that requirement. But overall, I'll just lay the deck out to close out the video, just so you guys can see it all. We got the 1 secret rare, I put all my 1-ofs at the end. I know it's going to be a little bit hard to see everything because I don't have the best space for it, but hopefully you get the gist of it, and you can go back and just look at any parts where I was talking about a card. Feel free to ask any questions. I'm not going to lay out the Z deck. I'm just going to lay out the core of the deck. And then if you have any questions, or ideas, bounce them off me. I would love to hear any new ideas for the deck, things I may not have considered, things that you've considered that I probably should, things you're curious on, anything really related to the deck, I'll help out. 53 card deck coming along just fine. We've almost got it all laid out. I should have just laid it out as we were going, but this is what it is. And then if you want to take a full review on the whole list, here it is. All laid out. Let's see. Get a little bit more space. We're almost there. Fourth Dimension Magics and the one Baby Unison. Or Boo Unison. There it all is. Hopefully it's interpretable this way. Like I said, if you guys have any questions or want to throw any comments at me regarding this deck, I would love to hear it. Hope you guys did enjoy. No, it was a little bit of a longer one today because I really wanted to talk about some of the new cards. But hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.